Do you think Croatia is just about the clear blue Adriatic Sea, the romantic old city of Dubrovnik, and the warm taste of rakia? Buckle up, because this next journey will shatter all those sweet stereotypes. This is a land where you can get fined just for wearing clothes that are too revealing, or in some places for wearing clothes at all. You're not allowed to shout, laugh loudly, or even stare at cows for too long. Your car can't be dirty, and in some areas cars don't even exist. There are also unwritten rules for winning over some of the most beautiful women in Europe, and that's just the beginning. Are you ready to discover 15 taboos that will leave tourists absolutely stunned? Let's get started. Number 15. Never raise 3 fingers at once. Have you ever thought that a simple gesture like holding up 3 fingers to order 3 beers could land you in a dangerous situation in a European country? In Croatia, this isn't just a gesture, it's a cultural taboo. Raising 3 fingers at once, usually the thumb, index, and middle finger, simply means 3 in many cultures. But in Croatia, this gesture is a painful reminder of the 3-finger salute, a symbol used by Serbian soldiers during the Yugoslav wars to declare victory and assert pure Serbian identity. For Croatians, especially those who lost family or their homes in that war, this sign is deeply offensive and is easily associated with pro-Serbian sentiment, something unforgivable in places like Vukovar or Nin. Foreign visitors, especially Americans, often have no idea. One tourist shared on Reddit that he raised 3 fingers to order a drink at a bar in Split and got a tense glare from the bartender. Some people get a warning, others are kicked out without ever understanding why. In a 2023 local survey, nearly 60% of Croatians said tourists should be warned about this gesture when entering regions with a war history. Have you ever been somewhere where people see a no sign but just ignore it? In Croatia's capital, Zagreb, you might be surprised to find that breaking small rules happens all the time. Don't get the wrong idea. Croatians aren't disorganized. But there's an unspoken rule here. If what you're doing doesn't endanger anyone, nobody will bother you. A classic example? Right at Banja Luka Square, always crowded with locals and tourists, there's a big sign that says, "Please don't park bikes against the fence," but every few steps you'll see at least 4 or 5 bikes leaning against that very fence. And the police, even though they patrol several times a day, never bother to write a ticket. A local shared with a smile, "A law is a law, but it's not always meant to be used like a fly swatter. We only get strict when it really matters." This attitude spreads into everyday life, from running a red light on an empty street, walking your dog in a no-dogs park, to riding the train without a ticket check. If you've been to Germany or Switzerland and found their strictness overwhelming, Croatia will feel like a breath of fresh air. Can you believe there are places in Europe where wearing clothes is actually strange? Here, not wearing anything at all isn't taboo. It's a lifestyle encouraged in special areas where people embrace freedom and nature. Starting in the 1950s in the town of Vršac and on Rab Island, total freedom culture has flourished in Croatia, making it one of Europe's top nudist destinations, alongside France, Spain, and Greece. By 2023, according to Croatia Full of Life, there were over 30 beaches and resorts in Croatia dedicated to nudist tourists, attracting over 1.2 million international visitors each year, mostly from Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, and even the United States. The most famous spot is Valalta Resort in Rovinj, ranked by The Guardian as one of Europe's top 10 unlimited travel destinations. Here you'll see families, couples, seniors, and young people sunbathing, playing beach volleyball or kayaking, all without a stitch of clothing. The surprising part? Nearly 60% of the guests at these resorts are Croatian. Some places like Jerolim Island near Hvar even have humorous "no clothes allowed" signs saying, "You come here to be yourself. No barriers, no judgment." This culture is protected by strict rules, no taking photos of others, no harassment, and absolute respect for personal space. When you set foot in Croatia, one thing you can't help but notice is how effortlessly striking Croatian women are. They're tall, slim, with thick hair and faces that combine strong Eastern European features with Mediterranean allure. With an average height of about 5'7", they stand out in any crowd, especially when paired with confidence, sharp eyes, and a fashion sense straight out of an Italian magazine. But don't let their looks fool you. They're not the type to fall for a few Hollywood-style pickup lines. Want to win over a Croatian woman? Forget about aggressive flirting or American-style jokes. Croatian women value depth, sincerity, and intelligence. They grew up in a society torn apart by war, where family, faith, and personal strength helped people survive hard times. So, if you think you'll succeed just because you have a good job, a six-pack, and confidence, you might get ghosted without mercy. A huge plus, show respect for their roots and culture. Knowing the name of a Croatian dish like pastikada, complimenting a city like Split, or asking about Dalmatian culture will set you apart right away. On the other hand, if you confuse Croatia with somewhere near Russia, you should probably walk away. And don't try to define gender for them. Many modern Croatian women are independent, have college degrees and their own careers, but still love beauty, cooking, and caring for family. She doesn't need you to teach her what a strong woman should be. She already knows who she is. A fun fact. In Croatia, over 60% of women aged 25 to 34 have a bachelor's degree or higher, much more than in many other EU countries. Intelligence, knowledge, and financial independence are the norm, not the exception. Can you believe that in the 21st century, just for loving and marrying someone of a different religion, you could be disowned by your own family? In some far-right regions of Croatia, this isn't just a TV drama, it's a harsh reality. Croatian women who marry Muslim men from Bosnia, Serbia, or Turkey still risk being seen as betraying their national culture. This doesn't happen in big cities like Zagreb or Split, but it does occur in conservative rural areas where memories of the Balkan Wars are still fresh in the community. Not allowed to marry isn't written in law, but it's enforced through silent punishment. A typical story reported by Jutarnji List in 2021. A young woman from Slovenia fell in love with a Bosniak man she met at university. The result? Her mother burned all her childhood photos and her father declared, "That daughter is gone, no longer part of this family." Are you the type who likes to hug to show friendliness? If so, you might unknowingly break a social taboo in Croatia. When meeting for the first time, men shake hands, firm, direct, and brief. No hugging, no Latin-style backslaps, and definitely no arm around the shoulder unless you're very close. Between men and women, the rules are even stricter. A friendly American-style hug can be seen as inappropriate, even disrespectful. According to a 2021 sociological survey in Zagreb by the Croatian Institute of Anthropology, over 68% of people said they feel uncomfortable when strangers or new acquaintances touch them, like hugging or linking arms. Among women, the figure is even higher, 74%, especially those over 40, dislike being touched on the shoulder or lightly hugged during greetings. One American tourist shared on Reddit that he hugged a Croatian friend's girlfriend in a polite American way and got the coldest look from his friend for the rest of the night. Croatians, especially in conservative areas like Dalmatia or Slovenia, are very sensitive to body language. But don't think Croatians are cold. Once you're close, they can be very affectionate. Putting an arm around you, patting your back, or even cheek kisses can show real closeness. You might think cows are gentle, just grazing and posing for cute Instagram photos, but in Croatia and nearby alpine regions, this can cost you literally. Here, cows have almost absolute priority. Why are cows so protected? Simple, cows are a livelihood, a source of pride, and part of the cultural identity of Croatia's highlands. For example, a recent shocking incident happened in Tyrol, Austria, near the Croatian border. A German tourist was chased by cows because she let her dog run loose, scaring a mother cow with her calf. The result? Her family sued the landowner, but the court ruled she was at fault. The landowner was acquitted, and the victim's family had to pay €5,200, around $5,720 in damages. Since then, stricter rules for hikers have spread throughout the region, including Croatia. All tourists crossing pastures must follow the cow priority law. Always close gates, don't shout, don't laugh loudly, don't stare at cows, and if you have a dog, keep it on a tight leash. Never let it run free. Believe it or not, there are still places in the world where the sound of engines is absolutely forbidden. In Croatia, Silba Island, about 3 hours by ferry from the coastal city of Zadar, is a no-engine oasis where cars and even bikes are banned during summer. That's right, even cycling is considered too noisy for this peaceful place. Silba is the only place in Croatia with a clear rule. From June to September, all wheeled vehicles, including bikes, are not allowed. Only handcarts, usually for luggage or goods, are accepted. With a permanent population of about 300 and no big hotels, Silba is almost frozen in time, keeping the old fishing village vibe where the main sounds are the sea, the wind, and birds. Why such strict rules? It's not just about protecting the environment and scenery, but also the soul of the island. Locals believe a slower pace helps people live more genuinely, feeling each step on the warm stones, every rustle of leaves as they walk. That's why Silba is a favorite for tourists from Germany, Switzerland, and the Netherlands, people tired of industrial life and longing to walk in peace. Number 7. Don't touch Croatian women's hair. What might seem like a friendly gesture can actually be a serious offense. In Croatia, especially in bars, clubs, or social settings, touching a woman's hair, even just to compliment it, can get you accused of sexual harassment. Croatian women, though open in conversation, are very serious about personal boundaries. They see hair as deeply connected to beauty, privacy, and femininity, especially if touched by a stranger or in public. In Zagreb alone, from 2021 to 2023, at least 17 people were fined for unauthorized physical contact. In some cases, offenders didn't even know why the police asked them to leave the bar until the victim explained. And number 6. Don't go near the slums. You might think Croatia, with its stunning Adriatic coast, dreamy islands, and the old city of Dubrovnik, is all paradise. But behind the fairy tale beauty are gray zones even locals avoid discussing. In Zagreb and some old industrial cities like Rijeka or Osijek, there are poor suburbs considered unspoken no-go zones for outsiders. In areas like Krnomarek, Pisanica, or parts of Zaprud, slum-like buildings from the post-Soviet era still exist. Unemployment rates can reach up to 25%, with poverty affecting over 30% of residents, according to 2022 statistics. These aren't places for curious YouTubers or tourists looking to vlog about the dark side of the city. Some tourists on Reddit shared that they were chased out of these areas for trying to film poverty without permission. It's not just seen as disrespectful, it's provocation. In one 2023 case, a group of German bloggers had their cameras destroyed by locals and had to call the police. Posting negative photos of these neighborhoods without blurring people's faces can even lead to lawsuits for violating EU data privacy laws. Croatians are proud of their country. For struggling areas, they see it as a private wound, not something to be exploited for views. If you want to discover the truth, talk to people, not secretly film them, a Zagreb local once said. Number 5. You can be fined for a dirty car. Did you ever think not washing your car could get you in trouble? In some districts of Zagreb and Rijeka, Croatia's two largest, most vibrant cities, it absolutely can. It may sound strange, but Croatians, especially in cities, have an unwritten rule. Your vehicle reflects your public awareness. There's no national law requiring clean cars, but in certain local areas, especially old towns or tourist zones, authorities enforce it. A Rijeka city official told the press, "We're not targeting old cars, but those that make people frown when they see them." A thick layer of dust or mud splashes on a car parked in the city center can label you as disrespectful to the community, especially if it's left unwashed too long. You could be fined up to $32 per repeat offense. Number 4. Offending stray cats can get the whole neighborhood against you. You'll see stray cats everywhere as you wander the stone alleys of Dubrovnik. But don't tease them, or worse, kick them for fun. These cats aren't just ownerless animals, they're beloved residents, almost sacred to the local community. In Dubrovnik, over 200 stray cats live around the old town. Most are informally adopted by residents or nearby shops. Locals put out water bowls, food, and even mats for them to nap on in the summer heat. An Italian tourist was once scolded in the street for patting a cat's tail while taking a photo. He thought it was cute. To Croatians, it was rude. On social media, videos of tourists accidentally chasing cats off cafe tables have sparked outrage with hundreds of angry comments. It goes further. Some neighborhoods have Instagram accounts for their cats, complete with names, health updates, and even backstories. Tourists love it. There are even walking tours for cat spotting in Dubrovnik, and postcards featuring the cats for sale. Number 3. Don't sit too close to the water's edge. You might think laying your towel right by the sea is a basic tourist right. In Croatia, this could land you a fine of hundreds of dollars sent directly to your hotel, even if there are no warning signs posted. Since summer 2023, the Croatian government has enforced new rules to protect beach space and coastal ecosystems. Umbrellas, lounge chairs, even your own, must be at least 6 meters or about 20 feet from the water's edge. The goal? Prevent overcrowding, preserve walkways, and protect marine breeding areas. But the controversy is that there are no signs, no beach inspectors, only community cameras installed at major tourist beaches like Zlatni Rat, Bol, Bakvic, Split, or Punta Rata. These cameras detect violations, extract your booking info, and send the fine directly to your hotel or Airbnb. Many foreign tourists, especially from the US and Germany, said they had no idea about this rule. "I just wanted to sit closer to the waves. Didn't expect to pay for enjoying the view," a French tourist complained on TripAdvisor. Number 2. Tourists can be heavily fined for dressing too revealing. You might think Croatia is all about beach freedom, but not everywhere. While Croatia is famous for its open beaches and laid-back spirit, cities like Split have a different vibe. Split isn't just a beach, it's a living heritage site. Every stone around Diocletian's palace, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is treated as a historical treasure. And many tourists, especially from the UK, US, and Australia, are shocked when they're stopped by police right after stepping off the ferry in bikinis barefoot with just a towel. The Split authorities call this the heritage dress code. It's not in the Constitution, but it's enforced like law. After waves of shameful online videos showing drunk tourists yelling, peeing on statues, or walking in bikinis past churches, officials responded with specific regulations. The fine? Over $160 per offense. Number 1. Croatia's deepest taboo. Would you call America a former British colony every time you meet an American? Then don't call Croatia former Yugoslavia when you're in Zagreb, Split, or Dubrovnik. This is one of the country's deepest taboos, connected to its history and national identity. For Croatians, the phrase former Yugoslavia isn't just inaccurate. It's an insult to the tens of thousands who died during the 1991 to 1995 War for Independence. This brutal conflict affected more than 20,000 lives and displaced hundreds of thousands. Calling Croatia former Yugoslavia is like denying the sovereignty they fought so hard for. Many tourists, especially from the West, make this mistake because of outdated guidebooks or maps. But a local in Split once said, "You can talk about Tito, about the war, even about Serbia, but if you call Croatia former Yugoslavia, the conversation ends right there." So there you have it. We've just explored 15 rules and taboos that Croatians don't like to talk about. If you're still with us, comment below about which one surprised you the most. We'd love to know. Thank you for watching today's Kinglaty travel documentary to the end. We hope you'll continue to join us on future journeys as we explore the wonders of the world.